In today's news, the Federal Reserve just made a shocking announcement that will change the very landscape of crypto, of XRP's adoption and its use case in finance forever. This is a massive green light signal towards even more institutional adoption in this space, and it's just a shame that it has gone largely unnoticed because of the whole war situation in the Middle East right now. Be that as it may though, we are again one step closer to the next leg up in the crypto bull run, an explosion incoming. And we even have confirmation now that this will no longer be the typical FOMO meme coin driven cycle. It will be a utility driven cycle, one that the Fed themselves believe XRP is going to thrive in. This is the beginning of the great collaboration. The convergence of crypto and TradFi is now underway more so than ever before, and if you don't want to miss out on the incoming opportunity, there's coming much more here in the VIP, wop.com/coin factory. From alpha institutional research documents, learn about smart money, attending their clients ahead of time, allowing us to get ahead of the retail market, educational courses, trade alerts, and so much more. Check it all out. 7 days free trial, link down below in the description, and I hope to see you there. Now, we have received word from the Federal Reserve late last night, very recently, that they have just removed the reputational risk component that was frequently used in the examination program in its supervision of banks. So in simpler terms, the component that played a major role in the debanking of crypto firms and other businesses, the component that the Biden administration used and weaponized to try and suffocate crypto innovation, has now been removed from the Federal Reserve. And in a sense, they were the last line of defense, the last major banking regulator to get rid of this term, which is huge news. This is a tremendous win for crypto, and one that will allow crypto innovation to accelerate for the banks as well, for the TradFi sector to get more involved in this asset class and to utilizing its technology. But what many fail to realize is what this means for XRP, how significant it is, what all these regulatory developments and frameworks coming through will mean for the price of utility crypto tokens. Because with more frameworks and guidance coming to the space, with bills like the Market Structure Bill, the Clarity Act on the horizon as confirmed in this video, there will be a massive flood of liquidity coming out of meme coins, because meme coins, for the most part, many of them are largely unregulated and just not safe. They will be shifting into legitimate projects and companies, and in that regard, therefore, in this space, there's none other like Ripple and XRP. Listen very closely here.
The meme coin phenomena is ultimately a decision taken by the SEC under Chairman Gensler, not solely Chairman Gensler, but it was a decision taken at that time, deeming that they weren't securities, that they were non-security tokens, and it prompted a major issuance of things like meme coins. In my view, the Clarity Act would go a long way to, I think, cleaning up that side of the market.
Now, in my belief, I do not believe that means that all meme coins will completely die out and go to zero. It's just that with all the thousands of cryptos out there right now, 99% of these useless cryptocurrencies are in the meme coin sector. They have no purpose or use case. They just came out of pump fund and were just quick price pumpers and rug pulls. But they're going to go to zero with regulatory developments, with some frameworks. The capital will flow into where it is trusted, which right now, with institutions being involved, it is going to be with use case, with utility. Utility tokens will thrive. The ones with the most to offer will see a larger portion of this income and liquidity. And according to the Federal Reserve, they seem to believe, the same banking regulator again that just gave a massive green light adoption to crypto, they believe that XRP stands above the rest. Remember that Ripple and the Federal Reserve joined forces over a decade ago in 2014 to help redesign the infrastructure of the global financial system. That's huge. That's absolutely huge, and this is why Federal Reserve's David and DeFalco confirmed that Ripple's protocol can actually coexist with the United States payment system. Listen closely.
David, fantastic presentation.
Thank you.
I'm one of the fellows who raised his hand when you asked who uses Ripple, Joe and myself. And I just want to say, it's I'm very happy to see that someone at the St. Louis Fed respects it at the very least. And I'm sure that from all the good things you said about it, many people in this room would like to hear more. But you mentioned that you foresee peer-to-peer, currency-agnostic payment clearance systems such as Ripple coexisting with institutions such as central banks in the United States. And my question is, how are we going to see that happen? What is it going to take?
So thank you very much. And, you know, all the nice things I said about Ripple, everybody knows to short it. Well, how do I see it? I mean, you know, like you said, Ripple is a currency agnostic platform. It really doesn't care too much about creating and managing its money supply, although it does have its native money supply. So, you know, it's doing, the way I exposited the idea, Ripple is handling the processing of payments for many of the world's unbanked people. Okay, and that the Fed is one institution that's providing a type of currency that people could use as payment using the Ripple protocol. But there may be other currencies. There could be Bitcoin, there could be the yen. So, I mean, I see room for coexistence. I mean, I see it today. I don't see any reason to doubt why it might not continue in the future.
This is bigger than people realize. Of course, you've heard it time and time again that always the question is when. Again, the question still is when, but seemingly it's going to happen very, very soon, especially because of ISO 20022, that migration happening in November. I think we could see a big shift happening this year. Gradual and then sudden. That's always been the name of the game. Ripple will coexist and then take over the US payment system. So the war FUD happening right now, ignore the noise and follow the real news, and you will see what smart money really have planned for this space. Do your own research, of course, or to come find out a lot more to understand, come check out the VIP when it always don't look short term, think long term, and I'll see you in the next one.